Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to share something I read that I found pretty powerful and impactful. It's from this book. I don't want to talk about it. Overcoming the Secret Legacy of Male Depression by Terrence Real. That is about male depression. I wanted to read something from the end of the book that I just found, certainly impactful for me, but I think for a lot of men out there. So it is from chapter 12, Conclusion, Where We Stand. It's going to be a bit of a long read, so I hope you stick it out. Okay. Why would a depressed man choose the hard work of reassessing the very longings, skills, and responsibilities of mature relationship that were actively discouraged throughout his socialization? One reason may be that, like Joe Hannigan, he is being asked to in no uncertain terms. Another reason is that he will feel better for it. When a depressed man steps up to the task of practicing full relational responsibility, he not only transforms the dynamics of his disorder, he also shifts to a more mature stage in his own development. I speak to men of this shift in life orientation as the move into fathering. Fathering, as I speak of it, can but need not involve the biological begetting of children. Fathering need not involve children at all. Fathering occurs when the essential question a man lives by changes. The essential shift in question that marks a depressed man's transformation is the shift from "what will I get" to "what can I offer?" Entering into a fathering relationship to a child, a mate, an art, a cause, to the planet entire, means to become a true provider. Recovery demands a move into generativity. The greatest cost of the less than, better than dynamic of traditional masculinity lies in its deprivation of the experience of communion. Those who fear subjugation have limited repertoires of service, but service is the appropriate central organizing force of mature manhood. When the critical questions concern what one is going to get, a man is living in a boy's world. Beyond a certain point in a man's life, if he is to remain truly vital, he needs to be actively engaged in devotion to something other than his own success and happiness. The word discipline derives from the same root as the word disciple. Discipline means to place oneself in the service of. Discipline is a form of devotion. A grown man with nothing to devote himself to is a man who is sick at heart. What a great many men in this culture choose to serve is their own reflected value, which they often believe serves the needs of their family, even while their families may be crying out for something different from them. What the ethic of man the breadwinner has ignored is the wisdom of relationship. That wisdom, shared by most human cultures throughout the globe, has as a central tenet that it is a source of one's own growth to care for the context one lives within. It is essentially an ecological wisdom, teaching that we are not objective observers standing above and acting upon a passive world. We do not stand apart from a system like God, but within it. Whether this system is our body, our psyche, our marriage, our state, or our planet. This is not a dispute between selfishness and altruism. It is a dispute between short-sighted greed and far-sighted wisdom. Similarly, when a man gives in to his wife's desire to stay at home and watch a video on a particular evening, rather than go out to the movies, he does so not because she has won and he has lost, but because he is caretaking a relationship that is in his best interest to preserve. Most men understand the wisdom of relationship, of sacrifice to larger goals, in relation to their careers, but it takes some effort to transpose this wisdom to the care of their families, their marriages, their friendships, and even their own health. Yet it is the placing of oneself at the service of a larger context that drives a man deep into his own growth and fullest potential. Studies indicate that while fathering may or may not be necessary for the psychological adjustment of boys, it is highly advantageous for the psychological adjustment of the father. Men who were judged as having warm, nurturant relationships with their children were shown to be healthier, less depressed, and surprisingly more successful in their careers. In popular films, there is a spate of lost or damaged heroes who are redeemed by their relationships to real or surrogate sons. This may have less to do with boys' needs for fathers than with the men's need to be fathers, to live for something beyond performance, kudos, and acquisition. As more and more women enter the workforce, as decades of feminism and cultural change stimulate new demands from women for responsible, intimate partners, as business itself breaks out of traditional hierarchical management structures in favor of more cooperative models, Polarized gender arrangements and gender characteristics are reshuffling once again. Man the breadwinner, woman the caretaker may be figures contained within the borders of the 20th century. It is becoming increasingly apparent that the old paradigm of worth through dominance, of valor, is atavistic. It no longer fits our complex, interdependent world. So, yeah, that's a lot of stuff right there. And man, I mean, it just keeps going on to just lots more, but I think I've been struggling with this concept. I've been wrestling with this concept for last 6 months, probably really wrestling with it for the last 6 months or so. I don't have a biological child currently, not yet. Maybe someday, maybe never. I'm not sure, but I have definitely been feeling this need to be a father to something, to add value, to shift from what I can get to what I can offer. I've been really struggling with what can I offer, because I've been looking for what can I get for so long now, and time after time after time, the end of that is empty. Well, the end of that is dissatisfaction, because that's just not the end state. It's just not the end state. It's not the right goal. The goal is eventually what can you add to others. So yeah, like I said, no script for this one. Let the words speak for themselves. I would love to do a review of this book titled I Don't Want to Talk About It, but it's probably going to take me some time to really formulate my thoughts. If you're like me, or if you're like a lot of men who are very good at understanding the wisdom of relationship, of sacrifice to larger goals in the relationship of your career, but you have a hard time translating that back to your family, it's time to start asking yourself how you can change that, because you are missing out. You are missing out. And I want to help myself, and I want to help you not miss out anymore. So that's it for this one. See ya.